Okay, welcome to another SEO Hangout with Josh Bachynski. That would be me. Today we're going to be talking about the Payday Loans algorithm, and the question is Payday Loans just Penguin 2.0 in disguise? What is the Payday Loans algorithm? The Payday Loans algorithm was a set of algorithms released after Penguin 2. Penguin 2 was released May 23rd. The Payday Loans algorithm was first announced by Matt Cutts in his SEO Summer of Hell video he put out, you can see on the right there, in May. And he also announced when they were releasing the algorithm, and it was around approximately these dates, June 5th, June 11th, June 27th to 28th, and Matt Cutts said their changes would be ending around July 1st to 4th. Although I believe that and we did see some fluctuations in those dates, but they were nowhere near as strong as the fluctuations we saw in June. And also some other Panda sites got released at that time. So I'm suspecting that July 1st to 4th, around those dates, it was actually Panda. But we did see Payday Loans releases on June 5th to 11th. So those are probably the more stronger Payday Loans dates, those set of algorithms. Now, why do we care about the Payday Loans algorithm? Well, the Payday Loans algorithms actually made some of the highest fluctuations ever seen in SEO. The SERPs changed more than they've ever changed for any release of Panda previously or any release of Penguin previously. So it actually hit various niches the most, even though overall it made probably some of the least change. And this means it hit many thousands of sites in many different competitive niches, not just the Payday Loans niche. It hit sites in the hotel niches, in the car loans niches, in the insurance niches, and other niches that we're going to see. So if you were hit by this niche, or you exist in any of these niches, and you might be hit in the future, you might want to know, how does this algorithm work that hits our niches specifically? Is it link-based? Is it quality-based? Is it based on on-page spam? Are they just manually manually adjusting these niches? What are they doing exactly? And of course, more importantly, the question is, how do we fix it? So I have an hypothesis that I'm going to phrase in the form of a question. My question is this: what if the Payday Loans set of algorithms was just Penguin 2 tailored for specific niches? If we want to figure this out, then the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out, okay, well, what does the Penguin 2.0 profile look like? What does that algorithm look for, and how does it work, more or less? Well, I've already released a video on Penguin 2.0, which you can look at on my YouTube channel, which you might be on already, but if you're not, it's youtube.com/jbachyns, J-B-A-C-H-Y-N-S. And you can see this SEO video there, and many other interesting and exciting SEO videos about the experiments I've conducted and the various Google leaks that I've come across from my contacts. But I'll provide a little bit of evidence here of what the Penguin 2.0 profile seems to be looking at. So when Penguin 2.0 was released on May 23rd, there was a number of sites that were published to have been hit by the algorithm, and this is one of them. This is ets.org, and they seem to have been hit by the Penguin 2.0 algorithm here on May 23rd. So too was Salvation Army hit as well. Now these are big brand sites, probably false positives, and they made some recovery afterwards, although they seem to have been hit later on, although that could just be the summer effect of less people searching, because this data is from alexa.org. They did mention that they were hit by Penguin, they were asking questions and those kinds of things. So they definitely did seem to be hit by Penguin 2.0. So let's look at their backlink profile to see if there's any commonalities. Well, as we can see, ets.org has a very spammy, quote-unquote spammy looking backlink profile, which is probably why they were hit, even as a false positive. You can see their main query is ets.org, and that's the main thing that their link was ets, which was also their domain name. Same thing with Salvation Army. Their domain name is salvationarmy.org, and their main anchor text was Salvation Army. You can see that was the most high percentage of their anchor text as well. So the question is, if that's what Penguin 2 looks like, and I have tons of other sites, I've analyzed about 50 or 60 of them at this point, and they all look exactly the same. And I have another video with a bunch of other sites and a bunch more evidence of exactly how this works I released a couple months ago. You can find it on my YouTube profile. So the question is, if this is what Penguin looks like, Does Payday Loans look like this? And the answer is it does. Now, Dr. Pete Myers, who is this nice fellow right here, he was nice enough to publish the Payday Loans winners and losers on June 25th after the Payday Loans algorithm was released. And so this example of the limousine service niche is from his article on Moz.com. And up on the top here, this is the Google search results page for limousine service before June 25th. And this was the Google search results page for limousine service after June 25th. And as we can see, Ultra Limousine Service, US Limo Service, they are nowhere to be found. They were totally blown away by the Payday Loans algorithm. So the question is, what does their backlink profile look like? Well, here's ultralimousine-service.com. As you can see, it's Ultra Limousine Service is the highest anchor text. And it doesn't matter if it's in your URL or not. It's still the query that you're saying, the anchor text that you're trying to use. Google knows very well that this is the same as this. And here's US Limo Service. It's exactly the same. Its highest or very high portion of anchor text is US Limo Service or uslimoservice.com. Okay, well maybe that's just a fluke. Let's look at another niche. This is the auto auction niche. This is the second example that Dr. Pete was nice enough to share with us. And as we can see here, there's a bunch of winners again and people who got hit after June 25th. And we have autoauctions.gsa.gov, americasautoauction.com, and indianaautoauction.net, and they're either reduced tremendously or totally removed from the SERP after the Payday Loans algorithm was released. Again, it doesn't matter how it looks now. The date now is August 23rd or so. But it doesn't matter how they look now. They could have recovered, whatnot. This is how it looked like when the Payday Loans algorithm hit it. So the question is, well, what does their backlink profile look like? Well, unsurprisingly, we're starting to see a pattern here. Their backlink profile is exactly the same as the Penguin, the people who are hit by Penguin, and the people who are hit by Payday Loans in the other niche. There's America Auto Auctions, and America Auto Auctions is the highest backlink anchor text for these guys. IndianaAuction.net is, again, it's the highest one. IndianaAuction.net is their highest backlink profile, so it's exact match query, search query to exact match domain correlation is the highest anchor text profile. Starting to look very, very spammy. And autoauctions.gsa.gov, even this one, which was probably a false positive, but it was hit by the Payday Loans algorithm. It moved down on that date, although not as much as the other ones. But as you can see, still it has the highest anchor text profile of auto auctions, which is their exact match domain. Okay, well, maybe it's just a fluke still. So let's look at some counterexamples. Okay, well, which ones didn't go down? Okay, well, AAI, whoever these guys are, they didn't go down, they stayed the same. And this Copart one here actually boosted. You see they're in 4th position after June 25th, they're in the 2nd position. Okay, well, what does their anchor text profile look like? Well, they look completely different. IAAI.com, highest portion of anchor text is totally different, and you have to get way down to like the 5th or 6th one here before you get to an exact match correlation between the anchor text and the domain name. So they have a much less anchor text percentage, and for the most part, it might be harder to hit them because it's just a single word. Maybe, maybe not. That's a speculation on my part. But at the very least, we can see here, according to Ahrefs, which is where I got all this linked data, they have a much lower anchor text profile, and they stayed the same. Also, Copart got a boost, and you see they don't have the same kind of anchor text profile. They have all partial match and not exact match anchor text profile, and it's not even their highest percentage anyway. The highest percentage they have is this no text, which means it was an image. This is some kind of banner or image. That's the highest link anchor text that they have. Which of course is still a problem from a paid link perspective, but that's a manual action typically in my experience, and they don't have an algorithm that seeks that out. They have an algorithm that seeks it out and bubbles it up for the manual team, according to John Mueller, who is a Google employee who knows about all this stuff. So we can see that it's starting to look like the Payday Loans algorithm is nothing but the Penguin 2.0 over-optimization algorithm that is just tailored for different spammy niches. And that makes sense because the Penguin 2 algorithm, as I reported in my last video, seems to work on a kind of really academic mathematical algorithm that detects what the kind of percentage of exact match query links pointing to an exact match domain is, and they use some kind of ratio to determine what is over threshold, quote unquote. But that's only going to work in the general population of websites only so far. They would then need to drill down into the specific quote-unquote spammy niches and change that number, that cosmological constant, if you will. They have to manually change that number because, say, in the limousine service niche, as we saw, it's much different. There's a much higher percentage of exact match query links to exact match domain, and so they probably have to increase that number to say, okay, if you're over 30% or 40% or 50%, that's when it's going to start nailing you. So, if that is the case, and this is how the Payday Loans algorithm works, and it seems to be just Penguin 2.0 in disguise, tailored for specific spammy niches. If that's the case, if you were hit on June 5th or 11th, or maybe 27th to the July 4th, although that's probably getting into panda territory, but it could be either one, so we don't know. So just as a general rule of thumb, as best practices, it won't hurt to do any of these things if any of this evidence proves true. It seems that Payday Loans is mostly link-based. So, if that's the case, what you want to do is you want to do a link report, or get someone to do a link report who knows how to do these things, and find your weakest, most pathetic links that are probably not helping you rank at all, that look the most spammy, and also have an exact match query to exact match domain correlation, like the ones we saw here. The exact match domain, exact match query to exact match domain correlation. Try to find those ones. And then delete them. Delete those backlinks if at all possible. If you paid for them, if you have your own buffer network, whatever, if you have access to those links, delete the links at the source. And then that bad link juice or that over threshold is not going to be pointing at you anymore. If you can't do that, then disavow them. The disavow tool seems to actually work. I've seen people actually shoot themselves in the foot by just going and throwing in the links in there they think look quote-unquote spammy, and then their rankings go down, and they contact me and they say, why? And I say, well, have you disavowed any links? And they have. So, I mean, obviously it's not what's happening all the time, but this does happen. The disavow file does seem to do something. Does seem to follow those links, and John Mueller from Google definitely says, do not throw links in there willy-nilly, you will hurt your rankings. So, only if you know someone who knows how to do this information, or you know how to do this yourself, to find the weakest and most spammy links, you can disavow them, especially if you've been hit by the Payday Loans algorithm and you have this exact match query to exact match domain kind of profile. Or, worst comes to worst, you can delete, or you can 404 or 410 the exact match query to pages. So if you are linking with exact match query to your EMD, but you're not linking to the index page, you're linking to a subpage, and you can't afford to delete it or disavow it, and then or delete it and then or 404 that page and then copy the content and put it on a new page, you can do that, and you might be able to get rid of the bad link juice that way. And just in case it works like kind of the original Penguin algorithm, which was a general over-optimization algorithm, which does, of course, work based on links, as we know now. But my original research into Penguin does show, it does also look at an website I see that is hit by Penguin, also does have to seem a very high percentage of on-page exact match query keyword repetition. So remember, Penguin is the over-optimization algorithm, and if Payday Loans is nothing but Penguin in disguise, it is an over-optimization algorithm too, and that means it wouldn't hurt that if you have a bunch of keyword repetition stuffed into your title attributes or your alt attributes, or especially in hidden CSS or something like that, or you just repeat it in your keyword in your text a bunch of times. If your text sounds like, click here for the best Montreal real estate because we have Montreal real estate and we love Montreal real estate. If your on-page sounds like that, it wouldn't be a bad idea at all to remove those extra instances of the keyword repetition, because that's probably not helping you in any way, shape, or form anyway, and it could make you susceptible to Penguin 2 or Payday Loans if this bears out. Okay, finally, We don't know because Google's not being nice enough anymore to really tell us when they're announcing Panda versus Penguin versus Payday loans versus any other algorithm. So it could be the case, and probably the latter case of the 27th to 28th or the July 1st to 4th only had a very small change. Kind of the same change you see every month. And so that's why I'm guessing was probably Panda. Plus I saw a lot of Panda sites get hit on that date as well. And it'll get released on that date. So July 1st to 4th was probably Panda, and June 1st, 5th and 11th to be sure, and maybe 27th to 28th could very well be Payday loans. Either way, it would be a good idea to try and make some Panda changes too, which is the point I'm trying to make, so that you're fixing those problems too if they exist. And the Panda changes, you can contact me for more information, but essentially it's what I say down here. You have to try to improve searcher satisfaction and trust with your site. You have to try and improve the speed of the site, the design of the site to make it more beautiful, to make it more interesting, change the user interface to make it easier to use, move all the main content above the fold, and make sure you are terminating the search. Make sure you are providing all the information those people want so they do not bounce, they do not go back to Google and click on another result, and so they are satisfied with your site. Because that's what it seems like these days Panda and the other associated usage algorithms are looking for. Okay, so thanks again for watching. This is my video on Payday loans and whether or not it's just Penguin 2.0 in disguise. If you have any questions about the information I mentioned in this video, or if you need any help with SEO whatsoever, by all means, please contact me. You can email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com. You can also follow me at Twitter at joshbachynski. So thanks very much again for watching, and good luck in the SERPs.